Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Mindset Monday. So today's question is of course mindset based, and the question is, how do you bounce back from setbacks and failures so that you don't lose motivation? So this is kind of a catch-22 because many of you may have realized that you'll kind of get in this sort of mode in this process and you're like, okay, cool, right, on Monday I'm going to start blah 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 and I'm going to work towards my goals and achieve them, whether that's in our body, our business or relationships or whatever. And we kind of set this target and we're all motivated and we're all excited and ready to go. The catch-22 is we get a few days in, realize, holy shit, this is hard work to maintain this around my chaotic lifestyle. And then what tends to happen is we start to lose that motivation and we become less and less driven to carry out these new behaviors, new actions, that are going to move us towards our goals. So that motivation obviously tails off. And the reason for that is because essentially motivation is, I don't want to say it's false, but it's like a false lift. It's a temporary emotional state that kind of helps to get you started, but doesn't help to get you across the finish line. So what we need to do instead is get results as quickly as possible, because that will then build that motivation into momentum, because it's the momentum of getting results and achieving the thing that we're after that will help to keep us on track, not that sort of brief state of motivation that we started off with. It's the momentum that we gather as a result of getting results. So that's the first stage. We need to actually gather enough momentum to get results and gather enough results to maintain momentum. Now, how do we bounce back when we have setbacks or failures though? Now, the truth is most of us will struggle to maintain 100% accuracy, success, or implementation of a new behavior, a new action, or whatever it is. And that's not a problem. The problem is how we tend to frame it and how we tend to view ourselves in relation to that mistake or that time off or whatever. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to change my diet and I'm trying to eat whole foods and clean food all the time. And I've decided I'm going 100% and all in. Then I say maybe get 4 or 5 days in and I happen to not be working in the office today. I'm on the road and I forgot to prep food. So now I'm stuck having to get food from a service station, for example. Now, if you just look at it, oh, well, this is a one-off, next time I'll plan in advance, etc. But today I'm just going to make do and I'll buy the best I can with what I've got access to, then that's fine. If you can accept that on an emotional level, you'll maintain the momentum you have and the motivation that you have. Whereas if you look at it, oh, well, fuck this, now well, I've made a mistake or I can't eat on track, so what's the point? I might as well throw the rest of the day out as I had to eat junk food because I couldn't or I forgot to prep something in advance. If you have that type of mindset, this kind of hit the fuck it button type mindset, when you make a mistake, you just throw all your toys out of the pram and kind of give up on it, that's the thing that's going to hold you back. That's what's going to make you keep stopping rather than keep going. Now, what we have to remember is ultimately most of us can get epic results using the 80-20 rule. Now, what that means is 80% of the time we do the things we know we're meant to do. And then that 20% of the time we give ourselves a bit of grace, a bit of patience, a bit of leeway to kind of go off plan or off track. But we just know that once we've had this moment or done this thing, we then get back on it straight after. The catch-22 is when we repeatedly allow ourselves to stay off track, it then gets much harder to get back on board, because what tends to happen is we start to lose faith in ourselves and lose trust in ourselves. Because it's like, oh, well, you said you were going to do this thing, and you told everyone else you were going to do this thing, but you can't actually hold yourself accountable. You are not trustworthy. So then we start to set goals and set targets, but we don't really believe it because we know deep down we can't trust ourselves, because we don't have the discipline or the accountability to keep ourselves in alignment with those outcomes that we want. So bouncing back from setbacks and failure is simply a mindset. It's simply deciding, oh, well, I've made a mistake, or, oh, well, I've got no choice but to not act in alignment with my goals in this moment, but it's not a big deal. As soon as I get the chance to, I'll get back on track. Because let's face it, one meal that's not ideal is not necessarily going to prevent you from losing weight in the long run. Yeah, okay, you might not get the epic results you would have got on that particular week, but one meal makes very little difference. It's the accumulation of multiple meals over time that aren't in alignment with the goals that you want that are going to derail you and obviously make you fail to hit your targets. So all you need to do in order to not necessarily avoid setbacks and failures, because they're going to happen, but to bounce back from them, is to, where possible, immediately get back on track after you've made that mistake or had that setback. Because the longer you dwell in the mistake and dwell in you're not good enough, you're a failure, and so on, the longer you dwell in that mindset, the harder it is to get back on track and to get back into momentum again. So that's it for today, guys. Don't want to go too long. If you have any other questions or you'd like me to cover some of these concepts in more detail, let me know. And if not, I look forward to seeing you guys